Hello everybody, welcome to this new Minecraft world. And I started a new world because I was a bit inspirationless for my last one. It's not that I want to quit that world, not at all, it's just I need to think for a second what I want to do with it. So for now I'm doing this. And what is this, you might ask? Well, in this world I'm gonna be teaching you how to play Minecraft. Minecraft is a really fun game, but there aren't, like, the game itself doesn't have many guides on how to play survival. So that's what I'm doing in this video. So as you can see, I've already got some stuff, but I'll explain how I got that and then we can go from there. Before you even get into a world, you of course want to make a world. So what you do is you press single player, create a new world, and then you have a whole bunch of options here. So what I do is keep this the same. You can choose hard, peaceful, easy, normal, survival or hardcore, or creative. And I usually do commands on. This I would leave as default. It's just gonna get weird otherwise. And the seed is how your world is gonna look once you're inside. There are a couple of sites you can use to find a seed, or you can just use a random one and then you can leave it blank. I would keep the generate structures on, and the bonus chest is up to you. Might help you in the beginning. I would leave this as it is. So then you load into your world, you spawn. I spawned here. This is a preset seed, or one I found anyway. First thing you want to do is walk up to a tree. I wouldn't recommend sprinting yet, by the way. So for me, the closest trees right now are up here. Walk up to a tree, start punching it. If you punch wood, you get an oak log, which is very useful. I'm gonna chop the whole tree down. So now I've got my 6 oak logs. These in itself are kind of decoration only. So what you want to do with them is you want to put them, open up your inventory using E on mouse keyboard, and then put your oak logs into this 2x2 crafting place here, and then you can make oak planks. With these oak planks you can make a crafting table, and a crafting table is basically the same as this, except it's 3x3, which is more useful of course for bigger recipes. What you want to do then is make some sticks by doing this and this, 2 oak planks beneath each other, and then you get 4 sticks. Using those sticks like so beneath each other as well, and then 3 oak planks on the top, you get a wooden pickaxe. By the way, it doesn't need to be oak. There are different types of wood, such as this is birch, and you have a lot of different types of wood. If it just looks like a tree, it's wood, and you can probably use it for this. So then you get your wooden pickaxe. And with your wooden pickaxe, you're gonna want to go to somewhere you can get stone, which looks like just a grey block. So I went into this cave, which is, oh, not this one. Yeah, I went into this cave, and I always get 19 cobblestone. So I mine 19 stone. If you mine 1 stone, you get 1 cobblestone. As you can see. Then using that cobblestone, you can make better tools, such as the stone pickaxe, like this, a stone axe like this, a stone hoe like this, stone sword on this, and then stone shovel this way. And you also want to make a furnace by doing 8 like this, and then you can get a furnace. So this may have been a bit quick, but you want to be quick because the sun's gonna go down, and you don't want to be. You want to be in a safe place when it turns to night. So I got very lucky here. There are a lot of sheep. So what I'm gonna do is kill 3 of them. I want to get 3 wool anyway. And for doing damage, the sword is the best. Has the highest attacks per second. But the axe does more damage. I'll show you. The axe can one-shot. So now it's turning night, and I don't want to be out at night, so I grab my crafting table. I grab 3 planks and then 3 wool, and I make a bed. And then I can just place it down, sleep in it. Oh, and then you can. By now you should have gotten a couple of achievements. You can open it up using L, I believe. And then you can just see what you should do next. So smelt an iron ingot here, plant a seed. So these do show some tips, but might not be enough. And adventure are a couple of things as well. So I grab my stuff again. I'm not going to kill any of the mobs here yet, because in Bedrock they do spawn more often, but in Java they don't spawn as much, so I want to keep them around for later use. What I am going to do is grab this sugarcane, which will be useful for later. And then I'm just going to go travel to a location I think is nice to set up a base. If you did not have a bed, by the way, what you can always do is just go to a wall like this and just make yourself a little hole and wait out the night like this. But I was lucky enough to get a bed, so it's very nice. I might make this a multi-part series, and in each episode I explain a different aspect about the game. So then this video is just about the start. What I'm doing now is grabbing pumpkins. They aren't that useful, but I like having as much items as I can early on. If you have a lot of water around you like this, you can go to your crafting table and then craft a boat like this. And then you can just row away. Couple of tips on navigation. You can use I have it bound to G, but it's usually F5 to go into third person, which allows you to see more, and you can use F3 to see this data. The most useful data here is on the left, the XYZ coordinates, which is just your location in the world. On Bedrock Edition you can turn those on in the settings menu. What you might want to do, I always find it very useful to know my coordinates. Alright, this is a big ocean. Oh, I see something here. So that right there is a shipwreck. Those are very useful early game because you can get a lot of items that way. And in fact, looks pretty decent. It's a bit sunk. If it was a bit higher, I might have made it my base, but it's a bit too far in the water, I'd say. Or not, I don't know. You can use crouch to get out of the boat if you're ever stuck. And then, let's see. Oh, right, so this chest. And then, let's see. So for this I'm gonna go underwater. As you can see by my bubbles in above my hunger, I cannot stay underwater indefinitely. But I can do just enough to grab everything. Oh, I cannot grab the chest. Okay, gotta get out. Ow. And if your bubbles are depleted, you'll start to take damage. This chest isn't that good. And then a shipwreck usually has 3 chests, 1 on top and 2 on the bottom. But it might be the case that it only has 2 or even 1 or even 0. Alright, this is very nice. So what I got here is a buried treasure map, which I'm putting in my offhand, which is only possible on Java Edition, sadly. But this leads me to the X. If I go to the X, it should give me a nice treasure and a nice lead. But I'll show you how to get the items in the chest without the buried treasure anyway. So don't worry if you cannot find something like this. And this is also very nice. Oh wait, I'm going too far to the left, so I'll do this later. So I gotta turn 1 here and then go up here. I think it's on this shore then. Yeah, a bit more to the right. Yeah, so this is the end of that. It should be here about. Oh, and in the distance you might see this forest, which has another wood type. A wood type a lot of people usually really like, because to be fair it is a pretty wood type. So I'm gonna get that later. What you want to do for buried treasure is you want to look at the map, like, oh, and then you can see yourself as the white dot, and then you want to align yourself with the X, a bit like this, and then put yourself in the center, so that you see no more white, and then it should be round about down here, exactly. Oh, and this is very nice. A lot of iron ingots, gold, fish, tunic, heart of the sea, and the best thing out of this, the diamonds, of course. So as you can see, I took some damage while in the shipwreck, and it's not regenerating, and that's because my hunger bar on the right is not full. So if I just eat fully, it should start regenerating. And now you can see I'm full hunger, full health. Absolutely perfect. Before I'm gonna go over there, I can see my inventory is completely full already. So I'm gonna go back to what we saw over here. Which is a village. Villages are very nice. So if you find one of these right at the start, you're very lucky because they contain beds to skip the night, hay bales for food, if you're lucky, some chests, and if you're very lucky, you get a blacksmith, which not only has 2 furnaces, but also a chest inside, which is amazing. So I got 2 iron pieces of iron armor here, and I'll show you how to get that sometime. So if you don't got it right now, don't worry. I'm getting very lucky, which is very nice. But I'll show you how to get it. But we came here because of my inventory problem, which is what the chests are actually for. So if I go into this chest again, I can put all the items I don't need in there right now, like this, like this, like this. And I especially want to keep the diamonds safe, of course. Specifically because those are very valuable. And it's just always nice to have some diamonds. Now, here's a new biome with snow. Alright, not bad. Nice lake. And, alright, so you might have seen them wandering already. Those guys are villagers. So there are 2 types of villagers. This one with the brown tunic, and they can get a job, and then you have one with a green tunic, and they cannot get a job. Those are called nitwits. So this one doesn't have a job, it's just a basic brown tunic, but if you look at one that has a bit more detail, so there should be one somewhere, yeah, over here's one. You can right click on them, I do not hit them, right click, and then you can get some items from them. So this is a weaponsmith, and if they have a job, it means they're linked to a workstation. This one is linked to this grindstone. And if it's about halfway through the day, you should go to the grindstone and you can see it. These are iron golems. They do a lot of damage, so I wouldn't attack them or the villagers, because then he will come after you. But if you want, you can grab some blocks, go to a sort of flat terrain like here, start building up 3 blocks, I believe it is, and then he cannot hit you. So you can hit him, run away, build up, and then you should be safe. Alright, but you guys might not be as lucky as me. Guys might not get a village and a shipwreck. So what do you do then? You're gonna grab a stone pickaxe. I'm gonna grab my items real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab some cobblestone. It's always good to have wood on you, your crafting table. I think this should be good. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go to a mountain or somewhere you can see. First thing you want to do is find a cave. So I see one here in the mountain. You can also just find them on the ground or basically anywhere. And you want to go to that cave. Alright, so this orange liquid, that's lava. You do not want to touch that because it's very hurtful. Alright, let me see if I can get down here safely. Yeah. Alright, so what you're gonna do is get to a cave, grab your pickaxe, and then start mining iron, which looked like that. And so this was only one, sadly. Alright, so I can already hear some mob sounds, but this is more important actually for right now because stone tools do the job. So this is coal, and I already had some, but I want to show you how to get it. So you can find that in caves. And then if you can grab some sticks and put some coal above those sticks, you can grab torches. And torches make light, which allow you to go deeper into the cave. But this is not a very deep cave. Too bad. This is copper, which you can mine, but you don't need it for progression. It's mainly used for building. So if you want to make nice builds, they are very pretty blocks. Definitely grab some of that. Here's more coal. I would recommend grabbing as much coal as you can. It's very useful. Alright. Oh, and dead end again. That's okay. Not all caves are great. Some are huge. It just, you know, gotta get lucky. So I'm gonna go to one more cave and then I'm gonna go back. Oh, this is a ravine, which might contain a lot of items, but because this one is filled with water, it's not very useful. Because you cannot go that far into the cave then. Alright, so I have some more iron here. So I've got 4 iron. I usually like having 9 at the minimum. But 4 should suffice, I suppose. Let me go into here. Once again, nothing, so I'm just gonna go back, because I got lucky enough to find that 22 iron. If you didn't, don't worry. I'll show you what you can do with 4 iron ingots. And I already see some pretty interesting terrain for later, maybe. So I do hear a zombie here, so there should be another cave, but it's okay for now. Alright, and I'm taking a lot of damage, so I'm gonna eat some bread. And you might actually be wondering, what's the best way to get food? So there are multiple ways to get food, but I'm gonna show you that in a second after I got my iron ingots. So I didn't get too lucky with my caves. Hope you got a bit luckier. So what you wanna do then with your iron, with your raw iron, put that into a furnace like this, and you can use either coal or wood to smelt them. Anything you feel like would smelt. You can also use lava, sticks. I think wool can smelt. I don't know. Actually, yeah, wool can also be used, but coal and wood are the best because they're easily obtainable and do a lot of items in once. Coal does 8 items, smelts 8 items. Planks, I believe, do about 3 or 2.5, if I say it correctly. Alright, so I've got my iron right here, and what I always do is a bucket first. I really prioritize a bucket. In this case it wasn't really necessary because I'm in a village, but if I don't have a village I always use a bucket. A bucket is very useful early on, because with a bucket you can grab water. Right, like this. You can grab a bucket of water, and then you can place that anywhere else. And around this water, let me go to a bit flatter area. So right here should be fine. Around this water in a 5 by 5 area, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with the water is the 5th. Sorry, no, not 5 by 5, 9 by 9. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, in an area that looks like this, you can use a hoe to right click the grass, and then you can get these farmlands, and these are very useful. So this isn't the prettiest right now, but that's not what I'm worried about. Let me just fix this, right? Place torches here and here, and it's become night already. But it's okay. So if you got some seeds, and you can get seeds by destroying grass like this. Right, like that. And then you can place them, and then you get the advancement seedy place to plant the seed and watch it grow. You don't have to watch it grow, you can just walk away. And I'm gonna sleep, because we're not dealing with mobs yet. You can also use hoe to make farmland by a lake, but if I just find this more useful, because I don't have to walk all that way every time. So Once seeds have grown, but this might take a while, you can harvest them. And that can then be turned to bread. You get wheat, which can be turned to bread. These hay bales, if you find a village, can also be turned to wheat, which can also in turn be made into bread. Bread is a pretty good food source. Mainly because you can get it quite easy. But a better food source is usually meat. Meat you can get by killing animals. So I've still got my 5 raw muttons from the sheep from earlier. And with those, I'm gonna put them into a furnace. This time I'm using oak planks. There are some biomes where food is really hard to come by. So in that case you're just not gonna want to sprint, because sprinting depletes your hunger a bit faster. But if you're just in the plains or some other biome, you should be able to get meat fairly easily. This village actually doesn't have any farms, but some villages have farms, and then you can get different crops like beetroots, carrots and potatoes. And it's kind of weird that this village doesn't, but it's whatever. Alright, so it should be done now, and I'm already hungry again, so let's see. Oh, I didn't do all of it, so let me just one more. And then I got my cooked mutton, and then I can eat it. And with meat, makes it so that you go hungry less often. So you have to eat less meat, and it gives you more, refills more of your hunger bars. So it's kind of one of the best. Specifically, the best one is from cows. Like the only thing that tops beef or cooked beef is golden carrots, I believe. So if you're able to get your hands on that, but once again I wouldn't kill animals because they don't spawn as often as in Bedrock Edition. Oh, and there I see something else, which I'm gonna go to, and then I think should be done for now. Also, if you have not found a village, I'm using this house as my base, but you can of course make your own house. You can just place blocks using right click, and with the resources you got, I think you should be able to make a nice pretty house. Or you can just do this. This also works. So, yeah, I'm gonna go over there one more thing, and then I'm gonna go end the video after giving a few more tips for the early game. And I think oh, and this is one of my personal favorite tree types. It's a cherry tree, which I just love. I think it's really beautiful. It's pink. So, and let's see. This right here is a ruined portal. We'll get to portals later, but for now, all I'm interested is in this chest, which it isn't very good. I'll grab the flint and steel. Besides that, it's nothing spectacular. But it's nice that this is here, and it's pretty completed. So yeah, we should be able to do something with this. And here's a lava pool, which is also very nice. A bit less useful because that is there, but we're not going there for a couple of more days. So maybe I should show what happens at night, but I don't really have the time for that. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna end it right here. But before I log off, I'm gonna give you a few more tips on how to survive the early game. We're still in the early game, but the very, very, very early game. First, with a couple of settings. So what you can do is, before you make your world, you can go to game rules and then keep inventory on. That means if you're afraid of losing all your stuff when dying, because dying, it's a survival game, you can die of course. You can do that, and then you will keep your stuff after death. There's nothing wrong with this. Some people might say there is, but I don't think there is. Second rule, or second game option you can choose, is for the first couple of nights, or for every night technically, is go to options and difficulty, peaceful. Then you can just keep playing in the night if you haven't found a bed or you're just still afraid. I'm gonna turn it to normal. I like playing on normal, and I usually turn it to hard later. But I might turn it to hard a bit early on because we got a very lucky start here. The reason you might want to do that is it stops monsters from spawning in the night, and these monsters will try to attack you, which is obviously not what you want. So, but it also kind of limits progression a bit. So I usually don't do it, and you can also do easy, and then they will spawn, and it won't stop your progression, but it will just be easier. So once you're in the game, what you first want to once you're in the game, what you first want to do is get stone. So get wood and then get stone immediately. Get these 5 tools, get a furnace, crafting table you should have by now, get coal, get iron, and then start building a base. Don't start burning the base then. Before you get coal and iron, find a way for food, and yeah, food is more important than iron. If you get as lucky as I did, you get both food and a base and maybe a bit of iron. If you didn't, focus on food first. Food first, shelter second, I'd say, and then iron third. I would recommend getting coal because coal is just very useful. And I think that's all I have for today. Hello. Yeah, that's all I have for today. But before I go, sorry about the delay in the videos. I was just really busy with a couple of other things in my personal life, but I think I should be back now. I hope. We'll see. Next episode, I'm thinking I'm gonna go more into the cave mining, but I might also. Next episode, I think I'm gonna go more into caving, and then after that, I'm gonna start building a base. So once again, you can just build your own base. You don't have to do the things that I do. So that's why I put it a bit lower on my priority right now. But caving is pretty important in this game. I mean, it's called Minecraft, of course. So. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. And then be on the lookout for that. And then I'll see you next time. Bye.